When I tell people about my secret, about what's my situation, a lot of guys run away.
Really? Well, this is your thing. But sometimes people, just the fact that you made like the conscious decision, it brings it to a separate category. You're not just born this way. You're making that decision.
So basically what this is going to be is basically just an opportunity, you know, to face things, to have discussions, to face things that I'm not necessarily comfortable, maybe even insecure about.
Yeah.
No diploma.
Yeah. So No Diploma is a movement of basic people who are not letting a diploma define if they're qualified or not to do something. So if they have a dream or they want to do some sort of work or something, that they don't get stuck because they don't have a degree and something that they could just pursue it if they have a passion and love for it. Of course, there's things you need diplomas, like, you know, medicine and so on.
Right.
But there's so many other jobs that literally does not require. For example, if you are an inspired person who wants to become an influencer or a content creator, well, guess what? You don't need to go to marketing school because they don't teach you that.
Absolutely, and I'm actually a film production dropout here. So today we're going to adventure ourselves into the world of dating, the reasons we've been rejected, and the little aspects in our personality, not confident enough, too feminine, not gay enough, and now we are going to both have our Oprah Winfrey moment. 4 days before this, he's been like, it's insane, it's crazy, it's a secret. And we're like, you know, keeping me on the edge of my seat, you know, like, what is it?
It was on my Twitter, but I mean, would that be?
Apparently, everyone knows except me at this point.
Not
it's
really.
Not even that much of a secret.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my ramekin full of tea. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, get more tea.
Yeah.
All right, so let me hear yours.
Are we starting with mine?
Yeah.
I guess my number one reason, and it sounds weird, but, well, no. Obviously, you guys know, most people know, but people who date me don't necessarily see my vlog, but at this point, I hope they do because, like, yeah. But if I'm going elsewhere, I put on weight on purpose. So I was 150 pounds, I felt too skinny, and I gained weight. And not necessarily just to put on muscle, but just to be bigger in general. And in a society where we're constantly told that we should be slim, we should be fit, and not be fat, especially when you tell someone, oh, I got fat on purpose, and I am still actively trying to put on weight, I'd like to be still a little bit bigger, it throws people off. And a lot of people are just like, what? Especially people who have had that own struggle themselves trying to lose weight are disgusted. And they're like, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. Or they think you have obviously a very deep-rooted issue. And it's not everyone who's going to go dig deeper. They're just going to label you as a freak. And that'll be that.
Are those the people who are saying that to you, are those the ones you're going after with? Or literally everyone you met said that to you? So
actually, I've been pretty lucky so far. And that's actually something that I will be exploring some more in this series. I would say half-half. A lot of people are just a lot more open-minded. But that might also be just a Montreal thing, because Montreal, we're relatively open to, you know,
diversity.
And just being progressive and everything.
It's an interesting point because like I would have said maybe my body image besides my hair. Oh, I'm a little bit chubby here and there. I used to be much more overweight. That kind of drives people off. But a lot of guys who are my type actually said they prefer body weight. I mean, again, it's all personal choices. I mean, you know, like, talking about choices, it's like flavors, right?
Right.
But what's the reason behind it? We don't know. It's DNA, but people do like more chubby men sometimes.
But sometimes people, just the fact that you made like the conscious decision, it brings it to a separate category. You're not just born this way. You're making that decision.
You're making that decision
to go against everything you've been told. People tell me body positivity is great because it teaches you to embrace yourself for who you really are. But that's not how I see it. For me, body positivity and body diversity is being exposed to all sorts of bodies, regardless of if you're born that way or whether you're not born that way. I call it body goal diversity as well, in the sense that anyone can choose to be whatever way they want. You can, you can be body positive and expose your body, get plastic surgery, and still be a body positive person just by being open about who you are.
Right.
So that's what it means to me.
Yeah.
But when I tell people that, it throws a lot of people off, and for a lot of people who just want to imagine their perfect relationship, perfect boyfriend, they don't want a freak. I used to just assume that I was going to be a freak forever, and then I realized, no, I'm not going to live that way. I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be out there. I'm just going to reach out to people who are like me, because I have heard from a lot of people and who have told me, like, you doing this does so much for me. I have decided to, tell my friends, tell my lover. Some people have even told me, like, I've decided to tell my parents. I'm like, woo! I didn't even expect you to go there, but good for you for living an authentic life. Now, speaking of living an authentic life, the secret.
So the secret has to do with actually, like, the thing is, like, when you're hearing about this, you may be turned off. Kind of like how you said you're putting purposely body weight. When I tell people about my secret, about what's my situation, a lot of guys run away.
The words you used was, when you find out, you will really want to match me up with someone else, but you won't want to date me yourself.
Yeah, because it does put myself in a sense of pity towards other people. So I am going to...
You know what it is. You don't
I
need
know,
to
but
look at your phone.
I'm just looking for one more thing in here.
It doesn't mean it's...
No, okay. The number one reason, and the most juiciest one, to saying that why I am undateable and why people turn off and they run away to that second when you hear about it. We talked about having less experience, but we talk about I'm a virgin.
Okay.
Wow, he took it much more easy than this. I'm a virgin, I'm 28, and again, to make freak maybe more out, besides not having much relationships, I've only had one kiss in all my life.
Okay. Wow.
But he's I don't know if he's being sarcastic or really, but...
No,
really?
not at all.
You're okay with this?
Yeah.
It's interesting. A lot of guys, even my friends who are gay, they're like, nope, I don't want to be in that position. Nope. If they were gonna be my first, they felt I was gonna have an emotional attachment to them. Perception before.
At this point, they feel like if you're going to do it with someone or lose your virginity to someone, you might as well marry them. Like, it's so precious at this point. It's not even like a precious stone or a pearl or a diamond. Oh my god, this is so R-rated, guys. We need to like.
No, but a lot of guys told me like they would never want to be the first for the guy or the girl because they do feel like those people are going to be very attached. And that perspective, I feel like that guys who said who want to be more serious with me had the misconception probably in saying that they don't want to be serious and then maybe they don't want to continue with me.
But there's so many people who are into that. There's so many people who are into that.
But
we're going here.
Is it the same for you?
I lost my virginity at 21, and honestly, until I was 21 or 22, I don't even remember because that's how much it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like, people talk about virginity like it's like before you lose your virginity, it's like, oh, I lose my virginity, like. Oh, brother, really? This is your thing.
No, I'm not kidding. A lot of people do feel like it's not like they do reject me. Like if I say like what's my number one reason? It's the number one reason people reject me. To be fair, I've only came out 3 years ago.
You came out 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago.
Okay, well,
yeah, I always knew I was gay before, but it never kind of clicked.
Well, see,
you know,
you're in gay age. They call you a gay. Like you're a young gay because you just came out.
Yeah.
Relatively, I came out when I was 18-ish, and I'd lost my virginity about three years later. So. One step at a time, Patrick.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
Give yourself some time.
Yeah.
And you're... Really? Really, girl? Oh. And how does that, like, make you, like, feel, like, when you